There are certain days that just change a person's life forever. Hi, my name is Majek-Hillyer, and I want to share a story with you of tragedy, of loss, of gain, of triumph, and overall just a story that is going to move you and move so many emotions within you. Wednesday, November 6th is such a day for me that I will never forget, ever. I woke up on that morning just like any other morning, except I quickly realized that it was much later in the day than I wanted to wake up. I looked at my watch and saw that it was 10:30, the sun was out, and I went to look at my phone and realized that it had died. And I plugged it in, and when I actually looked at my phone and when it started up, what I was about to see just changed the face of everything for me. So I quickly noticed I had a slew of voicemails and text messages. And as I started listening to these voicemails, my whole life flashed before me. Check this out.
My name is Erica. I'm calling from St. David's Round Rock Medical Center emergency room. We've been trying to get a hold of you. Your wife had a little bit of an accident this morning, and if you could give me...
So she was out of her car helping another pedestrian when a car slid and struck her.
When I heard that my wife had actually gotten out of her car and then was hit by another car, I about lost it. I just absolutely realized at that moment that nothing else mattered than getting as fast as I could to the hospital. So I quickly rushed and changed my clothes, ran out the door, ran to the front door, put on my shoes really quick, grabbed my jacket, head outside, locked the door, ran to my car, squealed out of the parking lot, and just rushed as fast as I could to the hospital. And as I was on the road, just so many thoughts just started going through my head, thoughts of, was she okay? What really happened? And, what if she is okay? Is she going to be paralyzed? And all these things just started going through my head. And I made a phone call on my way to the hospital, actually talking to the hospital, and found out a little bit more about the accident and realized that she actually was out of her car helping another accident, doing a good thing, doing a good deed, and actually was struck in her back by another car and had actually fractured her L1 vertebrae. And she was going to be going into surgery. She was in the emergency room at that time. And I knew it was a very bad situation. I knew that, I was just nervous and scared and at a loss for words, kind of like I am now as I recreate that story, that emotion, right? So I actually just, I tried to focus and I tried to just bring myself out of the moment and, not worry as much as possible, knowing that, more of it would make sense when I got to the hospital. But just thoughts just kept racing through my head, and I just really wanted to know that she was going to be okay. And that was the main thing, and it was really tough. It was really tough. I was going really fast, and I just had to get there really quickly. And, I don't remember feeling so helpless ever before in my life. And so as I finally pulled up into the hospital and, started to, park and try to rush outside, I was almost at a point where I was like, do I really want to find out what's inside? I was nervous. It turned more to just being scared as opposed to confused and wondering what the deal was, to just being nervous and afraid. And so I went inside and checked in, and I was able to speak to a nurse but couldn't speak to a doctor, and soon realized that she was actually in surgery and was in surgery for almost 4 hours. And I sat there and waited and just really wanted to know what the deal was. And at one point I was just so freaked out I wanted to capture that moment. So I actually shot a quick video in my car that I want to share with you. It was a quick 30-second video that kind of shares my emotion at the time. So here it is.
Hi, this is Aaron, and I'm sitting in my car here, and just got some terrible news. I'm waiting to hear what the deal is. My wife's been hit by a car, and she's in surgery now. She's fractured her back, and I'm just so worried. I just want to know what's going on and how she is.
As you can see, that was pretty tough, and I just really wanted to know that she was going to be okay, you know, and I didn't know what to expect. And so finally, after nearly 4 hours, I called the nurse again saying, what is going on? And the original estimate was 2 hours, and after about 2 hours and 15 minutes, I had talked to the nurse who said, you know, they just reached the halfway point. And that my concern grew greater at that point. So finally, after nearly 4 hours, I was notified that the surgery was done, that it was a success, and I was just sitting there, thank goodness, but still wondering, is she going to be okay? Is she paralyzed? Is she going to be able to walk? What kind of pain is she going to be in? Is she going to have lifelong problems? You know, all these things were occurring. And so all I wanted to do at that point was see her. And I had to continue waiting. They told me it'll be about 5 minutes before I could see her, which I was really excited about. And about 30 minutes went by, and I went and talked to him and said, hey, what's going on? Needless to say, a couple minutes later, I was finally able to go into the room. And when I did, I thought I was, but I was not prepared for what I was about to find. I had never seen someone so close to me in such a condition. You know, as my wife sat there, just looking completely out of it, and you know, it was a serious deal. And I came in, and you know, all I could hear and see was oh, 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 because she hadn't received any pain medication and just woke up from her surgery. And it was unbearable to see that. I mean, thinking about the amount of pain that, you know, what she had just gone through, and that experience, and I sat there and held her hand, and she, you know, said out loud, not realizing that she was holding my hand, you know, where's my husband? And, you know, I was standing there, right there, and she didn't even realize it. Now, I'm sure some of that was from the anesthesia, but it really just, it hit my heart. It was hard to deal with. And so, you know, what happened after that is really, it's mind-blowing. As if this day hadn't gone, you know, crazy enough. I had got nudged by a doctor. Actually, it was a nurse at that time. I was able to speak with the doctor before coming in, and I learned a bit about the prognosis, but it wasn't really known at that point, other than that she had full functionality of her body, which was amazing. I didn't really know what that meant, but she was moving her feet and so forth, so that was great. But I got nudged by the nurse at that point, and had a little side consultation bedside. And I was told that my insurance didn't cover, that she needed a brace around her chest and her back, you know, to keep her spine in alignment. They had actually reconstructed her spine and put screws in her spine and cadaver bone in order to fuse this together. The surgery was called a lumbar fusion, and they put all this together. And I was notified at that moment that the insurance did not cover that back brace. And I needed to pull out more than $1,000 out of pocket in order to pay for it. And they put me on the phone with someone to authorize that, because they actually wouldn't proceed with doing anything until we got that brace. So she sat there in pain and couldn't get that taken care of, couldn't get, you know, the brace she needed in place. They couldn't do anything essentially until they got that payment. And I was in a position where I was able to make that payment and just made it happen, right? Didn't have to worry about that, and I was blessed, very blessed about that. And about 2 or 3 minutes after that, I realized and recognized something, that most people are not in a position to make that payment. Most people are not in a position to actually take care of something, to make a simple decision because of financial restrictions. And I made a vow at that point. I made a vow at that point for myself and what I want to do with my life, as my whole why, my whole purpose in what I do in building an online business and helping others succeed shifted. It all changed, and I realized and recognized at that point that I needed to allow people to never have to put burdens on themselves to actually, stop major decisions, family decisions, medical decisions, other decisions because of financial burdens. This isn't right. I mean, the fact that most people would not have been able to come up with that money on the spot, that just absolutely concerns me. Right? I cannot imagine what it would have been like if I would have picked up that phone and said, well, shoot, where am I going to get that money from? I don't have it. What are we going to do? I would have had to scrounge around for it. What if I didn't have the resources to do it? What if I just filed bankruptcy and I had no means to do it? What, she was just going to sit there and suffer? I can't imagine what that would have been like. So my purpose, my journey, if you will, has completely shifted. And I've now changed and moving on a path to actually start a movement, really to start a movement of people that want to uplift and eliminate these financial burdens from your life, to provide financial independence so that you can do what you want. People say that money doesn't buy anything, but it sure does buy peace of mind in a situation like I just had, right? I said it before, but I keep saying it because it's so true. I can't imagine what life would have been like had I not been able to make that payment. So I want to make sure that for you and for everybody out there, that situation is one that you can handle with great strength, going in, knowing that financial issues are not a concern. I'm in a position with my personal online business where I knew that I had just received $1,500 in commissions and that I had a $3,000 commission coming in over the next week. And this type of leverage, this type of financial independence is something that I'm in the process of starting a movement, like I said. And I want to invite you to take part of it. I want to invite you to actually join me in this movement, right? So in order to do that, here's all you need to do. All you got to do, for starters, is make the decision that you're ready for a change. Now, for some of you, you might already be in a position where you have some form of financial independence or complete financial independence. Then I encourage you to actually step up and join this movement as well, because you're in a unique position where you're actually able to help lead the cause and actually help create this for others, help push this movement along. So I would encourage, realistically, anybody that sees this vision to jump on board with that vision and to let's propel this thing, into space really rapidly. So, I'm a part of a movement that actually is very much in alignment with this already, that I want to elevate the game on and take to the next level. And that's called Project AWOL, which stands for Another Way of Life. And it's really about defining what your other way of life is, because it's different for each and every person. And, for some people, it is financial independence or financial, just wealth, being able to travel, do the things that they want to do on their own time. For others, it's giving back, and it's really, doing charitable causes. With this organization, we've raised enough money to build 2 schools in Africa that will, be teaching thousands of students over the, next 20 years. Which is just really exciting. So these types of things we believe in, it's a cause. And so, for others, that other way of life is being there, being able to take care of your loved ones like I experienced here, and, being fortunate enough to be able to do so. But in my case, it was a lot easier than for others, right? For some, that may involve traveling overseas or, taking months or years off of work or doing what they need to do. We've got some people in our group that have been able to do just that, to spend that time, that precious time with their loved ones as a result of, building an online business. And that's really how we do it. We learn to, make money on the internet. And so I encourage you to actually decide, number one, and then number two, take action. Nothing starts without action. Once the decision's there, you need to put it into motion. So wherever there is, because this is a movement and it's going to be passed on to other people, I'm not sure exactly where you're seeing this video. You may be seeing it on YouTube, you may be seeing it on another person's page that I don't even know at this point, that believes in this cause, that believes in this movement, that is propelling it forward. So I encourage you to take action based on whatever's there in front of you, whatever that is. Whether it's a button that says join now or get started, or whether it's a subscribe or registration page, whatever that is, make the decision that you want to be a part of this cause, whether it's for you or for others, but join the cause, join the movement, right? And be part of change. Be a part of the change that is so desperately needed in this world. And, actually, secondly, take action on it. So that's it. Hopefully you got some value out of this story, out of this video. I mentioned there was at the beginning, the video opens up with this triumph and so forth, right? The reality is my wife is actually on her feet walking as I make this video. She's actually able to take steps without her walker little by little. She is in fast recovery, and it's been a struggle, but because of all the incredible amount of value of support and community that we've received, and I've got tons of things from loved ones and other friends, but the majority of the support that we've received has actually come from the Project AWOL community. So this is why I believe in this effort, and this is why I really push and promote it, because it is a movement, and I'm a part of that movement, and I'm starting my own movement to take that to the next level. So hopefully you'll join us on that, and with that, I'll see you on the other side.